Test, test, test. Are we live? I think we're live. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, I'm not going to do the spiel this time just because the market's pretty much already closed, but we're here for the Tesla earnings. They should be exciting. Sorry, I haven't been here all day. I've kind of just, I don't know. I've been on the market. I just haven't started up the stream. Just been chilling. Been kind of in and out. Figured it'd be kind of pointless to start the stream if I'm just like not here. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Texas Instruments bouncing back. But either way, much love to all my people. I hope you had a good weekend, and I hope you're ready for an exciting week. I guess the Tesla earnings call isn't for till like an hour and a half after the market closes. So we're going to be waiting quite some time for that. I don't know what this NCTY is, but this thing is popping. It's already up 50%. Looks like a meme. It's going pretty crazy, though. That volume's insane on it. I'll be careful with that thing, though. Looks like, I don't know. It looks interesting, but I just don't know if it's worth the risk. It's already up 50%. Like, I don't even know what's going on with it. I don't even know what that is. I'm not going to be able to get any news on that. It's just going to be a bunch of people saying, I told you. Bitcoin above 40K. Wow. Jeez. Aggressive. Where is everyone? I guess it is pretty late in the day. Shouldn't really have a expectation to have anyone here. Stream's just been so dead lately. What's up, Jonah? My guy. Hope you had a good weekend, Jonah. Paul King, what up? I haven't seen that name in here before. Hope you're having a blessed day. Hope you had a good weekend as well. My weekend was pretty good, bro. I just chilled. I honestly didn't do anything this weekend. Just a little bit of work. Mostly just chilling, though. Weekend was productive. Ooh. That sounds good. What'd you guys do? Anything exciting? work. That's a good weekend, bro. Oh, yeah, the kayaks. I forgot about that. I bet that was fun. And family. I don't think you could ask for a better weekend than that. I mean, I guess working's kind of lame sometimes, but I don't know. I think working's good. I like working. Personally. I bet that kayak thing was fun, though. Were you just out there with, like, friends or what? Make sure you guys hit that like button if you have not. It'll help the stream be suggested to other beautiful people so they can find the stream for the Tesla earnings. And we'll also be doing the Tesla earnings call, which isn't for like an hour and a half after the market closes. So we're going to be chilling here for a while. Coach and my GF. Nice. What do you mean a coach? Like you were like getting taught how to kayak? Never did the kayak. Yeah, kayaking's fun. Super fun. Teacher than a coach. I feel you. I was just curious. I didn't know they had like people who taught other people how to kayak. I don't know. Didn't know it was a thing. Technique. Technique. Tesla's numbers will go off. I honestly have no clue. I don't like predicting earnings. And honestly, like, as you saw with Intel, Texas Instruments, like, doesn't matter if they report good, if it doesn't meet investors' expectations, or not even their expectations, because every piece of the earnings has like an estimated move or an estimated number. Like you could beat that number by 100%, and if the investors aren't happy with it, I mean, it doesn't really matter. So I don't know. We will find out though. I honestly wouldn't be surprised to see Tesla stock do good, though, just because I feel like it's been lagging behind every other large cap company. Like everything else is pretty much at all-time highs. Tesla and Spotify are like, I don't know, they're just laggers, in my opinion. So we will see. And there's Elvis coming in with a negative comment. What else is new? What else is new? How was your golf tournament, bro? 2 weekends ago. No way. Then I don't know. For some reason, I don't know. I thought it was this weekend. Selective memory, you know? Went to the horse races this weekend. Did you tell me that? I don't remember. I really don't remember. I don't remember talking about the horse races. Oh well. Either way, how was that? How'd that go? You get to do some degenerative gambling? Won 300. Ooh, baller over here. Winning 300 at the horse races. Let's go. That's lit. It's lit. Got drunk. That doesn't sound fun. I'm like really tired today. I even somewhat slept it in. Well, good. Sounds like everyone had a good weekend, so that's all I could ask for. Tis all I could ask for. a semi. Ayy. Back on that grind, baby. Back on that grind. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. I believe you also have Logitech earnings, which I wouldn't expect too much out of Logitech. I don't think it's really like that big of a mover. Yeah, it's only pricing in about $8. Hasn't really moved too much in past earnings. I guess Q2 it moved like $12. But the options are just really expensive on there anyway. Like a $12 move would be like not even $135. You're still spending over $100. Granted, you got like 3 weeks of time. I don't know. I don't feel like Logitech would be a very good earnings play unless it started to get like a rally like this. I'm not touching it though. I mean, I'm not touching any earnings plays ever. I think those are Tesla and Logitech are the only like two main companies. I know there's a bunch more earnings. AGNC, F5 Network, PCA, TFI, Range Resource, Polytech, Delta. I don't even know what any of these are. In the morning, you got UPS, GE, I think, 3M, Raytheon, JetBlue, Waste Management, Sherwin-Williams. Ooh, Series XM. I kind of want to check that. The stock is just somewhat cheap. Nah, I don't want to touch that, actually. What did I say? Sherwin-Williams. I don't even know what the ticker is for that. SHW. That looks weird. GE. Damn. What the hell? I ain't touching GE. What else did I say? UPS. UPS. I mean, I have FedEx. That pretty much, if UPS does good, you should see FedEx come up with it. So I don't really need that one. Raytheon could be good. I just don't know the ticker for that. RTX, yeah. Damn, Raytheon still hasn't even gotten to COVID highs. What is this pricing in? $2. I feel like this is pretty mispriced. $2 move. I mean, I think it's already moved $2 today. That's kind of lame. Oh no, it hasn't even moved today. Had this big ass move though from Monday last week. I don't know if that's worth playing. That one's interesting though. I literally just said I wasn't going to do any earnings plays, and now I'm like, That's only 2 weeks at time, though. I'm good. I think that one's interesting, though. Like, the options are really cheap. But slow mover. Has potential to move. I just don't know if it's worth it. I just hate earnings so much. It's such a awful thing. Oh, yeah, you got Jetblue too. I'm sure that's already popped up quite a bit from last Monday. JetBlue could be interesting too. It's pricing in a 70-cent move. Yeah, this thing barely moves. Like, when was the last time this thing went even at 18? Freaking 2 months ago? Nah. That ain't it, Chief. I don't know. I'd just be careful with any earnings plays at all. Like, a lot of stocks have been moving on earnings, and you could probably kill it on some plays, but I don't know. I just don't like earnings. It's not worth it, in my opinion. F5 Networks as well. I forgot about this one. They got clapped on their earnings last time. No, the options are so expensive on there. It's crazy. Whatever. We'll just watch from the sidelines. Today's been a pretty slow day, though. Like, it's all about the crypto today. Crypto killed it. I'm really surprised, honestly. I didn't think we would bounce off of the support level again. But we did. We did it again. Now, whether this is the start of a run or not, we will see. Hasbro. Hasbro has a stock? Holy shit. Yeah, Hasbro has a stock, alright. Damn. I think that's wild. That must have been earnings move or something. That's wild. Dude, my nose is like so stuffed up. Ugh. 20 more minutes till the market closes. And we got our Tesla earnings. Earnings. Time to sell some options. Hey, there's nothing wrong with taking profits, bro. Profit is profit. Oh, wow. I haven't even looked at my subs. We've finally hit 2,800. That's dope. Appreciate everyone subbing. Surprised there's not more people in here. Like all my Tesla tags are ranked like 5 and under. So almost anyone who searches Tesla should see my stream. I don't know. Maybe we'll see more after hours or something. $15 more minutes. We could play a 850 call on Tesla for expiring this week. $20. I can't even believe this, bro. I can't even believe the 750s are over 100. Like, that's insanity. We could sell a put. I don't know if it'd be worth it. Nah, they were $400 on Friday. Now they're half the price. That's whack. Yeah, they're all half the price than they were. I don't know. Honestly, hopefully Tesla just sells off, and then we could probably snake a put. It probably won't, though. Let's be real. Jose, my guy. What up? It has been a while. What have you been up to? Hey, glad to have you back, bro. Studying nice. Good, good. Stay on the grind, bro. Stay on it. Finals, good. Have you taken your finals? Last one's on Friday. Hell yeah, bro. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, baby. What classes have you taken this semester? What am I doing this week? I'm just chilling, bro. Gonna watch some earnings. But nothing. Work. Same shit as usual. Anything interesting on the market? You have Tesla earnings after hours. A lot of big company earnings this week. So it should be a pretty key week. See how all these companies perform on their earnings. BIT. I don't know what BIT is. BlackRock multi-sector. I have no clue what that is. I know what BlackRock is. I don't know what this is though. Micro econ, English 2, and science. Ooh, econ. Econ. Oh, that's a fun class. Bitcoin. Oh, yeah. Crypto's crazy. Jumped right off of that support level. Pretty surprised. I thought it was going to get clapped, but I mean, it's whatever. It's whatever. We'll see if it actually starts to rally or if it gets fucking slapped off of the 40K again. Jake Waters, what's up, bro? Sorry you're getting your butt kicked at work. That's what you get for being sick. No, I'm just kidding. Hope you're doing good, though, bro. Hope you had a good weekend. Tesla's after hours. The earnings call's like an hour and a half after the close. Probably stick around here for the earnings call. I don't know what we're going to do for an hour and a half with the frickin' market closed, but we'll figure out something, I guess. Or maybe, I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. You'll sing. Maybe. There's a possibility for singing. Been present for an earnings report. I don't even have any songs to sing. But I do got, like, I went to Park City this weekend, and the park I went to was just, like, popping, bro. There was a bunch of, like, blow-up houses and stuff, like the bounce houses. They had those, like, I don't know what they're called. They're the big old, like, blow-up balls you put over your body, and you can just run into shit, and it doesn't even hurt. I don't know what they're called, but they were partying up there, bro. They just had Katy Perry going. I'm like, man, these people know what they're doing. I'm jealous. They know how to party. What'd you do this weekend, though, Jake? Did you hit some surf? There's a pounding in my head. Pink glitter all over the room. I don't even know the song. Last Friday night. Yeah, we danced on tabletops. And we took too many shots. Musical play. That sounds interesting. Does he like play an instrument, or is it like singing and stuff? 6 miles, jeez. You're an animal. You an animal. Last Friday night. Do it all again. Previous shows on my IG. I'll have to check it out. Helping people move, though, I don't know. Helping people move's a pain. Like, it's always good to help, but I don't know. I've never had good experiences helping people move. People just have a lot of stuff. I never realized how, like, minimalistic I am until I go and help people move. I'm like, holy shit, bro. Like, I don't have anything. Everything I own, I could just pack it up in my car, one load, and go. Besides maybe, like, my bed. But I got king size, so I don't know. I'll have to check that out, though. Instagram. Who's messaging me up this on this? For Tesla. Oh. You messaged me. Of course. I almost forgot about Tesla earnings. I don't know. You're pricing in about a $40, $45 move on Tesla. But I wouldn't play it. 2 minutes till the close. So let's see what happens. Damn, 7 likes. Thank you guys for running up that like button. Much love. Do it all again. Yeah. Spy was trying to tap that 441. Let's see if we can hit it before the close. Yeah, about 45 seconds. $20 more seconds. Are we gonna do it? We gonna see C441? It's creeping on it. It's creeping on it. Where is it? There it is. 441 on the spy. Woo! Ding 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 ding. I just lost all my breath doing that. What's up, Michael Lewis? But that is the end of the day. We got Tesla earnings coming up. The earnings call is like an hour and a half from now on Tesla. It's quite a ways away. Amazon will continue exploring crypto. Amazon denied a plan to launch a crypto coin. Amazon denies report it will accept Bitcoin. All that just came out after hours. All right. Let's see it. Let's see young Tesla. We also have Logitech and a few other companies that I don't even know what they are. But let's see what we get here. Tesla is probably the most important one. So let's see it. Damn, Dollar General about to hit 230. That's crazy. It just ripped through that resistance level like it's nothing. Do it all again. All right, where you at, Tesla? Where you at, dog? The whole city behind you. Logitech somewhat moving, but I don't think the earnings are out yet. No, we still waiting. Ever so patiently. Ugh. My stomach hurts. Where you at, Tesla? Tesla-san. Tesla-san, you report earning now. You mustn't wait. Time waited is time wasted. Where can I watch Logitech earnings call? Just go to Google and type in Logitech earnings call. Or you can find it on Robinhood if you have a Robinhood. Just go to the Logitech page and there should be like a preview earnings call thing. Tesla's popping. I'm not seeing the numbers quite yet. A little pop there, though. Yeah, we maxed our credit cards. Oh, wait, there it was. Stop going so fast. Tesla reports Q2 1.45 adjusted versus 0.9 estimated. Revenue $12 billion versus $11.4 billion estimated. So pretty decent earnings. Nothing crazy. Let's see if they actually move the $45 that's expected. So far, they've only moved 20 of it. So we should be seeing a lot bigger of a pop. Yeah, that was bunk, bro. So many people just got scammed on that. I mean, I shouldn't laugh, but that's funny, bro. The Tesla premiums were fucking out of this world, and you're telling me it moved $10? Like, what? That's actually fucked up. That's so messed up, bro. They just scammed people so hard. Oh my god, bro. They just scammed people. That's insane. Legitimately just scammed people. Wow. That's not good, bro. And this is why I don't play earnings. 100% the reason why. You can get scammed so easily. Like, you're telling me $100 move was almost $200, bro, and that thing just moved 10. Tesla shifting launch of semi-truck program to 2022. Tesla saw Bitcoin-related impairment of $23 million. That's terrible, bro. Legitimately terrible. It's probably going to sell off now. It's probably going to pull an Intel, which I wouldn't mind. We'll be able to snake some fucking put sells on there, maybe. Unless they actually scammed people. Like, if this thing's not going to pop off, we should expect to see a $45 move to the downside coming into tomorrow. But, I mean, if it just doesn't move at all, I don't know, bro. Dude, there's so many open interests or total volumes just on the day. Like, there's almost more total volume on the day on some of these contracts than there are, like, the whole open interest. Like, bruh. They just murked people on there. Tesla says plan to grow manufacturing capacity as quickly as possible. Sees achieving 50% average annual growth in vehicle deliveries. Working to drive down costs, increase production rate. Q2 total deliveries 201,304, up 121% year over year. Oh, excuse me. Q2 capex 1.51 billion, estimated 1.19. So they destroyed their earnings. There we go. There's our pop. We need a little more juice than that, Sir Tesla the Third. Logitech hasn't even came out yet. We're still waiting on that one. Teslonian the Third. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Appreciate everyone in here right now. Hope you're having a blessed day. We got the earnings call coming up in, I think, in like an hour and 20 minutes or something like that for Tesla. So it's going to be quite a while, but we'll be sticking around until that. Logitech still hasn't reported. Logitech's earnings call, it doesn't look like it's coming out until tomorrow morning. I'm not sure if this is accurate, but this is on their website. It says July 27th, 8:30 a.m. So, yeah, you're probably not getting that one until tomorrow. Elijah AK, my guy, what's up, bro? Appreciate you, bro. I guess Bitcoin sold off, like, right when Amazon had that weird little statement. Yeah, Bitcoin almost dropped like 2K just off of the Amazon statement. I feel like that has nothing to do with how much crypto killed it this past weekend. But whatever. I mean, that's the market for you. Very interesting world we live in here. What's up, Elvis? How'd you find this stream, Elijah? Are you subbed to my channel, or did you just like find it? I feel like I've never seen you in here. Like even when I first started this, and all the cult members were in here. Love stopping in. Oh, well, hell yeah, bro. Much love. Appreciate it. I just don't remember ever seeing you in here. Hopefully I can actually get in the Tesla earnings call. Sometimes it gets filled. My second stock channel. Hey, much love, bro. Josh is the GOAT. I haven't watched Josh's stream in forever. I'll watch the watch list. I haven't even listened to philosophy in forever. I used to listen to philosophy every single day. Oh, hell yeah. Dope, we got a little timer going here. Let's see this. Ah! What is 100 collateral on my call options? Haven't seen that before. 100 collateral? I don't get what you mean. I've been slow, philo, always good. Yeah, I mean, you learn a lot in Josh's stream, too, though. Like, he doesn't, like, he knows a lot more than just about stocks. I feel like, I don't know, at least when I was in that stream all the time, I feel like you were always learning something about something, whether it had to do with stocks or real estate or some just random economic thing you would never even know about. He's like, yo, check this out. You're like, oh, damn, I never heard about that before. Says cash collateral $100. I don't even know though. Like, I've never heard of that unless you're doing like a call credit spread. That's the only time you would have a collateral, I feel like. I don't know. Send me a screenshot on my Instagram if you have it. That sounds weird. Oh yeah, I appreciate the support as well, Elijah. For real. For real, for real. Oh, it might be are you selling a call? Instagram stock market options live. If you're selling a call, it could be from dividend maybe. I don't know though. That's weird. Doesn't really make sense to me. The only time you should have collateral on options is if you're selling them. But like, I don't know. Even then, it should be only when you're doing credit spreads. And like, your collateral when you're selling naked options is either your shares or the full cash. It's stock market options live. No underscores, no nothing. Just like that. I can't believe the Tesla stock, bro. I can't believe that. How many people just got fucking scammed, bro? That's crazy. That blows my mind, actually. It's pricing in a fucking $40 move, and it moved 10. Like, are you kidding? That's actually incredible. I can't even believe Logitech didn't even report. What the heck? Whoopsies. Let's see. HSII. I don't know what that is, but that's up about $2. AMKR. Bunch of duds on earnings here. F5 Networks did pretty well. Which, that's good. AMP kind of got clapped. MedP didn't move. TNet did pretty decent. Pretty big pop. I don't know what that is though. And UHS, Universal Health, they killed it. I don't know. I'll leave Logitech open, but it might not. The earnings might not come out till tomorrow. Did you get it? 1 second. Let me check. Let me see here. Let's lateral. What the heck? 4 buys. No sells. Cash collateral. I have never seen that before. UEC. UEC doesn't even have dividends. I don't know. That's weird. Because you don't even have any cells on there. Do you have any cells at all? Like, did you sell a contract on accident and create a credit spread? Because that's the only thing I could think of. But I can only see the 2.5 call you bought and the 1.5 call you bought. But it says you have 16 contracts, so I can't see the full history. You might have a cell in there, maybe. That's the only thing I can think of. If you don't have any cells, then I don't know. You might have sold one contract on accident and made a dollar wide credit spread. Whoops. That's the only thing I could think of, though, because that doesn't make sense. Sold the contracts. Yeah, but do you have like an open cell? You know? Like when you go look at all of your positions that are open right now, is there one that is sold or open to sell to open or whatever it says on Robinhood when you do it like that? I haven't used Robinhood in forever, so I don't remember. What do you mean by that? So go look at all the contracts you have open in that stock, and pretty much all the ones you bought, it should say like 2.5 call bought to open, whatever. 1.5 call bought to open. If there's any contracts that say sell to open, that's why, because you have a credit spread created somewhere in there. Doesn't that close out after 3? If you sold more than you have, like by chance, say you had like 3 2.5 calls or something like that, and you sold 4 2.5 calls, then you might have one cell open. So let me see if I can show you, because I got one position open on my Robinhood that might. So here, let me. So you can see on my Robinhood here how it has this Coca-Cola contract. It says one buy right here. It says Coke 62.5 call, 8:20 expiration, one buy. You need to see if you have a contract that says one sell on it that's open on this. Because if you have a contract that says like one sell, that means you have a credit spread open somewhere. And then to get rid of it, all you got to do is buy the contract back, and that'll close it. But you want to try to buy it back for less than you sold it for, if it's possible. I have 8 cells. Yeah, that's probably why then. Doesn't make sense why it's only 100 though. If you have 8 cells, then it would be, I don't know, just the difference between the strike prices. You got about an hour until the Tesla earnings call. I don't know. If you want, you could send me a picture of all the positions you have open on UEC, and I could probably figure it out. I just don't know what positions you have. Says negative 280 market value. Yeah, any sell will be negative because you sold that contract and got money in your account. So the only way you'll be able to get your money back is by buying it back. Ideally at a lower price. Damn, we got 11 likes. Much love to everyone here. Yeah, $2 call. -8. Yeah, so there's something. That's why you have that $100 cash collateral though, because with I don't know what other positions you have, because like I said, it shows you have, on that first picture it says you have 16 contracts. You got 4 buys on the 2.5 and 1 buy on the 1.5. So the 8 sells. Like I said, I don't know what other contracts you have. Or wait, what would that be? Isn't that 5 plus 8? What is that, 13? So you have 3 other contracts that I haven't seen yet. But since you sold those $2 calls, that created a credit spread between your $2 calls and your 2.5 calls that you bought. So that's 50 cents in between the strike prices. So that's, you got 4 of those. So that's $200 right there. But you also have that 1.5 call, so that creates that into a debit spread. So that's minus $100. So that might be where it is. But then you have 3 other cells that aren't accounted for. So you might have what are the 3 contracts I haven't seen? Because there should be 3 other contracts that I haven't seen yet, right? Yeah, I think that's why. I'm pretty sure. That's the only thing that would make sense to me. Because, you got those 4 cells. Yeah, those are calls. So you got the 4 cells. What's the current price? 35. Your average credit was 36.5. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Yeah, because, right? Yeah. It's got to be. It's the only thing that makes sense to me. Because you got the 4 buys on the 2.5. So that would cancel out 4 of the $2 calls. So that would be 4 credit spreads that are 50 cents collateral each. So that would be 50 times 4. So that's 200. And then you have that 1.5 call, which is... Or no, that wouldn't make sense either because it's a $2 call sell. So that would only be 50 cents. I'm so confused. This is so confusing. Cells. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah. Okay. So I don't know why. I guess you're technically in like a weird like calendar spread. But yeah, that's why it says $100 cash collateral, because you got those 4 buys and you got the 8 sells. So that's 4 credit spreads, $200. That would be $200 collateral right there. But then you have the 1.5 call, which I guess would cancel out one of those. And then you have that 1.5 call. But that one's on a different date. So that's where I get confused. But I guess that would still cancel out one of them. And then you have the other $2 calls, which would be break even. So I think that's the issue. Like you have those 2 1.5 calls, which cancel out the 4 2.5 calls. I'm pretty sure. Cuz like if you were in the money by expiration and you were to get exercised and assigned on this, you would have to sell you'd have to sell 800 shares of this for 200. So that's where I'm confused, because you have 8 of the cells, so that kind of messes me up. Oh, well, do you have UEC shares as well? Do you have shares? Cuz usually it wouldn't let you sell contracts unless you had shares. So that might be why. How do I get rid of the 8 cells? You just have to buy back the $2 calls that you sold. So yeah. So if you got assigned on this or exercise, whatever, I think it's assigned when you're selling. You'd have to sell. We won't even count the other 8. You don't have shares? That's weird then. I don't know. But you'd have to sell 800 shares at $2 each. That'd be 1,600. But then if your 2.5 calls were in the money, you'd be able to buy 400 shares at 2.5 each. So what is that? 2.5 times 4, right? Or no. Damn it. 2.5 times 100 times 4. So that's 1,000. So you'd be buying those back at 1,000. So you sold 1,600. So you're still down 600. This is confusing me. I'm so confused by this. And then you'd be able to buy another 100 at 1.5. So that'd be 450. But then you have all these other ones. That's so confusing, the math on that. I don't know how it let you even sell the call if you don't have shares. But literally all you got to do is what is this alert? Please contact customer service. Uh-oh. I don't like the sound of that. I don't like the sound of that. But yeah, let me go back to Robinhood and I'll show you how to do it. It's very simple. Move the Tesla thing. So we go to UEC. You would go to trade, go to your contracts. So when you go to your contracts, it's going to say -8 on the $2 right here, because that's the contracts you shorted. All you got to do is come over. You got to make sure you're on buy, and you just buy 8, and then you just buy your contracts back. But it's going to take money out of your account because you originally sold those contracts. So I think on that picture it said you sold them for, you got like $36 credit each or something like that. So that means you did 36 times 8. Whoops. 36 times 8. So that means you got $288 credit. So when you're buying it back, it's going to take the money out of your account. So, I mean, hopefully you'll be able to buy it back for cheaper. Ideally, you'll be able to buy it back for cheaper. But the spreads are kind of whack, so I don't know how that's going to work. But, yeah, all you got to do is just buy your contracts back, and then you'll be out of that sell. And then that collateral should clear. You just got to be careful. Make sure you're buying, not selling. I don't know if you meant to do that or not. Got to keep an eye on your orders. Here, I'm going to switch it to TD Ameritrade for a little bit here. I want to see what this customer service thing is. Oh. E-Trade tried to call me. Now I'm going to have to call them. Yeah, for sure, bro. For show, for show. Alright, I guess I gotta contact E-Trade here. Got quite a bit of time until the Tesla report. Can you still see the ticker or the countdown? Oh, no, you can't even see the countdown anymore. There we go. Countdown's begun. Your time has come. Just trying to sell my contract. Well, you sold the wrong ones. Oh, shit. That's funny, bro. That's funny. Let's see how long this freaking chat is. I was in a hurry. You did it the last minute. That's funny. You funny. Next agent will be with you momentarily. You just got to be careful, though, because, I don't know, if freaking UEC jumps up tomorrow, you're not going to be able to buy back those contracts for the same amount you sold them for. So that'll suck if that happens. So you just gotta be careful. That could be like a freaking $80 mistake right there. Well, probably like $40 realistically, but I mean, if you like I said, if UEC jumps up tomorrow, it won't be good. Pretty much cancels out all your other positions you have. Trying to close my contract because tomorrow UEC will be down in red. Well, then maybe those sells will benefit you. I don't know. Either way, it's still, I don't know. Just be careful because I don't know what's going to happen with that. If UEC is down tomorrow, you should be able to get out of those sells with a break even or maybe even a small win. Always next. Yeah, well, hopefully. Those cells will screw you if it jumps. Dudes buy the contracts back. Yeah, that's it. Very, very simple. Never done puts, just call. Well, you didn't do a put. You sold a call. It's implying the same thing as a put, but it's still a call. Holy crap. I don't get how I can sell a call when I don't own the shares. It's because you own, because you have options. When you buy a call, that's giving you the right to buy 100 shares at that strike price. So you technically do own the shares. Or, I mean, you don't own the shares, but you're in a contract that you can get those shares, so you're able to sell. And you have the 2.5 calls, which just turns your position into a credit spread. That's why. Basically a put. No, it's not a put. It's a call sell. By buying a call option, you are buying a contract that states you have the right to 100 shares if your option's in the money. So you basically own 100 shares. So confused. It's the basics of options. Just when you buy a call, that's giving you the right to buy 100 shares at the strike price. When you buy a put, that's giving you the right to sell 100 shares at the strike price. When you sell a call, that's giving you the right to sell 100 shares at the strike price. So when you buy a call, that you have the right to 100 shares. So that means you basically own 100 shares. So you can sell a call when you already pretty much own 100 shares. You own a contract that states you have the right to 100 shares. Yeah, that's the only way you're not going to get clapped on those sells. But that's how people do those like calendar spreads and shit like that. They'll buy they'll buy a call or sell a call or a put or whatever that's on a super long out date, and then they'll buy another contract that's like closer to the money and a shorter date, and that longer dated contract covers your contract you're doing with the shorter time frame, because if anything, goes wrong within that shorter time frame contract, you could just frickin', assuming it's in the money, you could just exercise the contract you have at the longer date to get your shares or whatever it may be. But I don't mess with any of that kind of stuff. So I guess we're not getting any Logitech report, I suppose. No Logitech. I don't know. It's kind of a lame situation to be in. It sucks when you make mistakes like that. You got 30 more minutes till the earnings call. I don't even think anyone's in here. Oh, well. Maybe some people will pile in coming into the call. Damn. We were ranked number 1 in all of the stock earnings search, or all the Tesla searches and shit. And now that we're getting closer to the call, it's bumping me out of all those positions because bigger YouTubers are streaming this too, probably. Sold out of all my oil stocks. Why didn't you sell them all at highs? I don't know about that. I don't know about all that. Where's IG? iGate Pharmaceuticals. This thing popped like 100%. Short-term swing trade. Oh, gotcha. Coming in hot on the earnings call. I just can't believe how many people got scammed on that. It's crazy. I wonder if Elon's going to be on the call. I don't even know who does the earnings call. Elon. Tesla's junk. That's all I ever hear from you. I mean, did you see their earnings report? I don't know. I feel like their earnings report would say otherwise. Forgot to smash the like button. Bruh. Let me guess, you forgot to drink water too. You ain't even hydrated right now. It's 100 there. It's actually, I haven't checked the weather here. I think it's pretty nice though. Yeah, it's like 100 here too. Ugh. Gross. I honestly just want to see if anyone's going to come in here for the earnings call. I don't even know. It kind of died out. Just loading the semi. Hey, I appreciate you, Elvis. Glad you're on that grind too. Keep at it. Where are you gonna be hauling to? Damn, SPY closed on 441 exactly. That's wild. At least I think it's done trading. Should be. Futures closed 4415. Short haul. What kind of what things do you haul? Like, is it just random stuff, or do you haul something specific? I feel like maybe you've told me before, but I also feel like I've never asked. Oh, he'll explode overnight. I mean, anything's possible. Grain. Interesting. Very interesting. He's on the run, loaded up and trucking. We ain't gonna do the things they say can't be done. He's on the run, loaded up and trucking. We do the things they say can't be done. Loaded up and trucking. He's the Bills, amen. Amen, amen. Can't go wrong with that. Make extra cattle in the stock market. Well, I mean, invest more, and you can make more. Instead of trying to put fucking 20 grand in silver, buy more equities or buy a rental property or something. Oh, yeah, we need to talk about that. I swear. If you build up a fucking 20K emergency fund and put it all into silver, bro, I'll be so disappointed. Like, just keep it cash. Like, if you're really not going to do anything with it, just keep it cash. Don't put it in silver. If you're gonna do anything with it, at least put it in equities or in the stock market, to where if you ever need it, you can sell it immediately. Like if you're doing silver, it's just not. Silver is just not that liquid. You know, like that's not an emergency fund. You need something that if you need it, you can sell it immediately and get your cash, or just hold cash. But don't put it into silver. I'm telling you. I mean, I guess you could do like paper silver, like SLV or something, but even then, I feel like you're better off just putting it into equities. But nah, don't do silver. Either equities or cash. Yeah, but your 401k, you can't pull out of your 401k. You're not 59 and a half. You're probably what? Like 40 at the most? Probably not even 40. Crypto savings accounts, yeah. I'm just not a big fan of crypto. I like the one that I forget what it is, what website, but there's this one where you can get some dope ass crypto debit cards for your savings account, and they got good ass benefits. But I don't know. I'm just not a big crypto person. I think crypto's for trading more than investing and holding. I mean, I'm probably wrong, honestly. I believe in Bitcoin and Ethereum, but I would rather, personally, I just don't like it. If I was going to buy it, I'd want it at a lot cheaper of a price. $39, yeah, exactly. You got 20 more years before you can even touch that 401k, bro. Unless you pay the fee or whatever. But that's what I would do. Like, if you're serious about starting that emergency fund, just like, please don't put it into silver. I'm telling you. Like, keep buying your silver and your gold or whatever. Like, keep doing it, of course, but like, don't put your emergency fund, like money you know, keep that liquid. Either equities or cash or both. Like, just start another account for your emergency fund. Don't even put all of it in equities. Keep like half of it cash, half of it in equities. And then if you ever need it, you can always just sell, or you have that cash on standby as well. But please don't put it into physical silver. You will it won't be good. I just don't think it'll turn out well, especially if like you need that money in the next like couple years. Yeah, about 10 more minutes till the earnings call. Definitely need an emergency fund. Amen. Amen. Fucking Dave Ramsey. But nah, for me, like, my long-term portfolio is my emergency fund. Like, I was going to say I don't have a 401k, but I technically do. I made a 401k and a Roth IRA that I haven't looked at in like a year. I think they both have like 500 or 1,000 in them. So I've never even looked at that. I don't even know what those accounts are doing, but this account is like, the main long term for the most part. I just save for the most part a majority of my money in here. And, this is pretty much my emergency fund. Like, if I ever truly needed the money, I have so many positions that I'm up so much on that selling would be pretty easy. And I have a decent amount of cash in here as well, Whereas, like, you know, if I was putting it all in a 401k or physical, it's just not, just wouldn't be ideal. 4% matching, that's good as fuck. That's actually insane. I'd be putting all my money in the 401k. Like, you would put my whole check in there, match that bitch. What is that? If you put $1,000 in there, they'd put like $40, right? Or no, no, it'd be 40, I think. Yeah, because 10% would be 100. I don't know. I think that's good. It's just that slow and steady money builds. A lot of people would see that 4% and be like, ugh, 4%, that's nothing. It's like, bruh, you know how much 4% of 100K is, bro? I'll take that. I put 4% and they match it. Oh, okay. I gotcha. See, that's even doper. This is a long ass countdown for this earnings call. It's coming up though. 4% free money. Amen. 4% free investments. That 4% might be worth 40 in the next 5-10 years. Who knows? Who really knows? All right, once this earnings call goes on, I'm just going to mute my mic and see if anyone hops in here. We should get some people in here, I believe. Oh, no. There's so many other streams streaming this. Maybe not. Maybe. I don't know. We got some beautiful jazz music playing, or violin. I don't know if that would be jazz. Classical. I don't know. We're still going to play it anyway. Whether people come in or not. There just must be a lot of people streaming this or something. Who knows? It's coming up, though. Holy crap. They got some epic music going. Where you at, Elon? Mr. Elon. It's 3:30, Elon. You come on stream now. Earnings call, please. Thank you. They're still playing the music. Bro. They're late. They made me wait an hour and a half and they ain't even here yet. Such is life. I don't know what the headline on that EYEG is, but that thing is popping. It's up over like 110% now or something. Might be even like 150. This thing is going crazy. I don't know what that is. We can watch it, I guess. Bro, come on. Where's this earnings call at? Let's go. Andale, andale. I guess we could actually look it up on Biofarm Catalyst. I bet it's on there. Let's see. iGate Pharmaceuticals. Was appointed a permanent president. Oh, director of Bay. They appointed a new president, I guess, or something. That might be why it's popping. Bro, come on, Tesla. Let's go. Let's get this earnings report on the road, son. They're just still playing classical music. You can do this. Of course. Me, Kevin, has to listen to the earnings call. Man. Rude guy. As if he doesn't have enough subs. I'm just messing around. I'm just messing around. Seriously, though. How is this thing not... Buddy, Meet Kevin. I used to hate on Meet Kevin, but he's actually pretty legit. I hope he becomes the governor of California. He has a lot of good ideas. So, vote for Meet Kevin. Dude, how is this not going yet? The futures are going to be back open by the time this earnings call comes on. Times for futures. Futures open back up in like 30 minutes. They only close for like, what would it be, 2 hours? Yeah. Pretty sure. I don't know when oil opens. I would assume it's probably the same, but I know oil closes like I think an hour before everything else. I'm not sure when it opens though. Oh my gosh. How is this earnings call not up yet? It's been 5 minutes. Usually they're so punctual. Elon, come on. You can do it, Elon. This is so annoying. Elon, please start your earnings call. Oh, man. He's so rude. Legit, though, the futures are going to be back open by the time this man's gets on. All right. I'm going to switch it to the TD. I can't believe this. I'm going to shrink this down. Dude, how is this not up yet? I'm like so confused. Here, I'll actually bring it down here. We'll just transform the window for fun. Finally. All right. Here's this.
With the SEC. During the question and answer portion of today's call, please limit yourself to one question and one follow-up. Please press *1 now if you would like to join the question queue. But before we jump into Q&A, Elon has some opening remarks. Elon?
Sure. So to recap, Q2 2021 was a record quarter on many levels. We achieved record production, deliveries, and surpassed over $1 billion in GAAP net income for the first time in Tesla history. I'd really like to congratulate everyone at Tesla for an amazing job. This is really an incredible milestone. It also seems that public sentiment towards EVs is at an inflection point. And at this point, I think almost everyone agrees that electric vehicles are the only way forward. Regarding supply chain, while we're making cars at full speed, the global chip shortage situation remains quite serious. For the rest of this year, our growth rate will be determined by the slowest part in our supply chain, which there are a wide range of chips that are at various times the slowest part in the supply chain. I mean, it's worth noting that if we had everything else, if we had vast numbers of vehicles and cells, we would not be able to make them. If everything except the chips, we wouldn't be able to make them. The chip supply is fundamentally the governing factor on our output. It is difficult for us to say how long this will last because we don't have. This is out of our control essentially. It does seem like it's getting better, but it's hard to predict. In fact, even achieving the output that we did achieve was only due to an immense effort from people within Tesla. We were able to substitute alternative chips and then write the firmware in a matter of weeks. It's not just a matter of swapping out a chip. You also have to rewrite the software. So it was an incredibly intense effort of finding new chips, writing new firmware, integrating with the vehicle, and testing in order to maintain production. And I'd also like to thank our suppliers who work with us. There've been many calls, midnight, 1 a.m., just with suppliers in resolving a lot of the shortages. So thanks very much to our suppliers. Let's see, in terms of FSD subscription, we were able to launch full self-driving subscription last month, and we expect it to build slowly but then gather a lot of momentum over time. Obviously, we need to have the full self-driving build widely available for it really to take off at a high rate, and we're making a lot of progress there. So, yeah, I think FSD subscription will be a significant factor probably next year. With regard to Giga Texas and Giga Berlin, we're actually doing this earnings call from Giga Texas, so we're in the factory right now doing this earnings call. and the team's made incredible progress here. You can see the pictures online, and see that there's basically nothing a year ago, and there's a mostly complete large factory a year later. So it's really great work by the Giga Texas team, and then also great work in Berlin or Brandenburg with the team there. So we expect to be producing the sort of new design of the Model Y in both factories in limited production later this year. It's always like it's hard to sort of explain to people who have not been through the agony of a manufacturing ramp. Like, why can't you just turn it on and make 5,000 a week? It is so hard to do manufacturing. It is so hard to do production. To first approximation, there are 10,000 unique parts and processes that have to work, and the rate of growth of production goes as fast as the least lucky and dumbest of those 10,000 things. And a bunch of them are not even in our control. So it's like, it's insanely difficult. I'm fond of saying that prototypes are easy and production is hard. And arguably the really remarkable thing that Tesla has done is not to make an electric car or to be a car startup, because there have been hundreds of car startups in the United States and outside the United States. So the thing that's remarkable is that Tesla didn't go bankrupt in reaching volume production. That's the amazing part, because everyone else did. Because they all thought the prototype or the idea was the hard part, and it is not. It is trivial by comparison with actual production. So it's always worth noting that of all the American car companies, there are only two that have not gone bankrupt, and that is Ford and Tesla. So, the seeds of defeat are sown on the day of victory, and we must be careful that we do not do that. So often, if you look at history, so often the seeds of defeat are sown on the day of victory. We will endeavor not to make that the case at Tesla. So let's see. The Model Y in Texas and made in Texas and Berlin will look very much like the Model Ys we currently make, but there are substantial improvements in the difficulty of manufacturing. So, for example, the Model Y made here and in Berlin will have a cast front body and a cast rear body, whereas the one in California has a cast rear body but not a cast front body. We're also aiming to do a structural pack with 4680s cells, which is a mass reduction and a cost reduction. And but we're not counting on that as the only way to make things work. We have sort of a backup plan with a non-structural pack and 2170s essentially. So, but at scale production, we obviously want to be using 4680s and structural pack. From a physics standpoint, this is the best architecture, and from an economic standpoint, it is the lowest cost way to go. So the lightest, lowest cost. But there's a lot of new technology there, so it is difficult to predict with precision when does it work and when do you reach scale production. And Drew's going to talk a bit more about the 4680 production. So we are making great progress on the 4680 cells. But there is a tremendous amount of innovation that we're packing into that 4680 cell, and so it's not simply a sort of minor improvement on state of the art. There are, and we went through this on the battery cell day, really dozens of, half a dozen major improvements and dozens of small improvements. So I think it will be great, but it's difficult to say when the last of the technical challenges will be solved. So in conclusion, our team continues to make huge efforts to make our factories run at full speed, which is very difficult. We have had some factory shutdowns due to part shortages, and we hope those will be relieved in the coming weeks and months. We're making great progress on full self-driving. Some of the progress is not easy to see because it is at sort of a foundational software level. And so then it ends up being sort of a 2 steps forward, 1 step back situation. But over time, if you do 2 steps forward, 1 step back, and keep going, you do move forward. I'm highly confident that the cars will be capable of full self-driving. If they have a full self-driving computer and the cameras, I'm confident that they will be able to drive themselves with a safety level substantially greater than that of the average person. Once again, thanks to all of our employees who are making this a breakthrough year for Tesla and an incredible quarter. Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much, and we have some follow-up remarks from Zachary Kirkhorn.
Yeah, thanks, Martin, and thanks, Elon. Just to reiterate, Q2 was a great quarter for the Tesla team with strong improvements across the business. In particular, auto gross profit and margin, excluding credits, increased substantially. This was primarily driven by better cost optimization across our factories, good execution against our cost reduction plans, as well as increases in production and delivery volume. There was some benefit from pricing action, mostly in North America. However, it was small in the context of the other contributors. Note that the Model S and X program was at a slight loss for the quarter due to the relatively low volume. And supply chain challenges, including expedites, continued to provide cost headwinds. Additionally, it's encouraging to see the progress made on profitability within our energy and services and other businesses. While there's some benefit to looking at our progress quarter over quarter, I find it more helpful to look at progress over a slightly long-term horizon. Over the last 2 years, our vehicle delivery volumes have more than doubled. This volume increase was made possible by a steady decrease in ASPs of more than 10%, driven by a roadmap to increase affordability and shifting mix towards our more affordable vehicles. Yet over that same period of time, our auto gross margin, excluding credits, has increased nearly 10 percentage points to our highest yet since the introduction of Model 3. This is only possible because our average cost per vehicle has reduced by more than the reduction in average price. This is a remarkable achievement in the context of the volume growth and ASP reduction I've mentioned, and a testament to the hard work by the Tesla team. Additionally, OPEX as a percentage of revenue has declined, and in particular SG&A, representing the work we've done to become more efficient as we scale the company while still making the required R&D investments to support our future. As a result, our GAAP operating margins have risen from negative to double digit, in line with what we have guided. By managing our overhead costs and driving higher volumes, our P&L is benefiting from the marginal profitability of each incremental unit. Or said differently, we are recognizing the benefits of scale and improved fixed cost absorption. With strong operating cash flows and cash balance, we are putting that cash to use. CapEx continues to tick up, primarily driven by capacity investments in Austin, Berlin, and Shanghai. Additionally, each quarter we are using our cash to retire legacy debt, which was taken on at a time when interest rates and company risk were much higher than in today's environment. As I've mentioned before, our 2021 volumes will skew towards the second half of the year as we push for continued sequential increases in volume. Despite the great work so far managing the instability of the supply chain, these challenges remain and are unfortunately increasing in pain with a higher volume. As we work through the uncertainty, we want to ensure we do our best to manage customer wait times, as well as the impact these interruptions have on our employees and costs. And as Elon mentioned, volume growth will be determined by part availability, as we have the factory capacity ready and are in a strong demand position. I'm excited to see the progress made by the Tesla team as we continue building the business and strengthening our financials. Thank you very much.
Great, thank you very much, Zach. And now let's go to the retail investor questions on say.com. The first question from Robert M. is, Tesla's website still says Cybertruck production is expected to begin in late 2021. Can Tesla share more details on the current status of the Cybertruck and confirm if production is still
Okay.
Lars, do you want to?
Sorry, we cut out there for a second. Yeah, the Cybertruck is currently in its alpha stages. We finished the basic engineering architecture of the vehicle. With the Cybertruck, we're redefining how the vehicle is being made. As Elon said, it carries much of the structural pack and large casting designs of the Model Y being built in Berlin and Austin. Obviously, those take priority over the Cybertruck, but we are moving into the beta phases of Cybertruck later this year, and we'll be looking to ramp that in production in Giga, Texas, after Model Y is up and going.
Yeah, it's just worth reemphasizing that the extraordinary difficulty of ramping production of large manufactured items. At risk of being repetitive, it's actually easy to make prototypes or sort of hand-built small volume production, but anything produced at high volume, which is really what's relevant here, is it's going to move as fast as the slowest of the, say, rough order of magnitude, 10,000 unique parts and processes. And so you could have 9,999, but just one is missing. I mean, we were missing, for example, like a big struggle this quarter was the module that controls the airbags and the seat belts. And obviously you cannot ship a car without those. And that limited our production severely worldwide, in Shanghai and in Fremont. So it wouldn't have mattered if we had 17 different car models, because they all need the airbag module. So it's just irrelevant. So in order for Cybertruck and Semi to scale to volume that's meaningful for customer deliveries, we've got to solve the chip shortage, or working with our suppliers. People sometimes say, why don't you just build a chip fab? Okay, that would take us, even moving like lightning, 12 to 18 months. So it's not like you can just whip up a chip fab. It's just like, yeah, let's just make a quick chip fab. Some of these things are, anyway. It is quite a trial dealing with all of the constraints of scaling a large manufactured object. I think it may be the case that Tesla is scaling. I think we might be the fastest in history ever for scaling a large manufactured object. I think maybe the Model T would have been comparable back in the day, the Ford Model T. And probably the internet knows the answer, but I think we may be scaling large manufactured objects at the fastest rate in history, or I'd like to know who did it faster, so we can learn from them. So it's worth just noting that, in the grand scheme of things, it's not bad. So the Cybertruck and Semi actually both are heavy users of cell capacity, so we've got to make sure we have the cell capacity for those two vehicles, or it's kind of pointless. We can make a small number of vehicles, but the effective cost if you make a small number of vehicles is insane. Like, they would literally cost $1 million a piece or more. And there's a reason why you do things in volume production, which is to get the economies of scale that get the cost down. But we are looking at a pretty massive increase in cell availability next year. But it's not like in January 1. It comes through it ramps up through the course of next year. But even without Tesla's Okay. Even without Tesla cell production, we believe our suppliers will be able to deliver about twice as much cell output in next year as this year. Drew, do you want to talk more about that?
Yeah. Given concerns over cells bottlenecking growth, our target is to grow cell supply ahead of the 50% year-on-year growth targets of the vehicle business and also enable increased energy storage deployments.
Yeah.
Our cell suppliers are tracking to double their production in 2022.
Yeah. It's worth noting, like, if you have a target of a certain number, that doesn't mean it happens like as sure as night follows day. It's a target. So if there is some calamity in the world that interrupts the supply chain, then it will be less. But the contracts that we have with cell suppliers call for roughly a doubling of cell supply to Tesla in 2022. And we have to juggle these it's a whole bunch of exponential graphs sort of overlaid on top of each other. And small changes in where you are on the x-axis of time can quite substantially change the area under the curve. So what we're thinking of doing is like depending on it's basically overshooting on cell supply for vehicles, and then as we have, say, excess cell supply in 1 month or another, then routing that cell output to the Megapack and Powerwall. Or by the same token, if we're prioritizing vehicle production, if there's a shortage of cell output for some reason, then we will throttle down Megapack and Powerwall production. So something's got to give, basically.
Or if there's a disruption to vehicle production,
yes,
we have an outlet for the cell capacity.
Yes, exactly. There's a tremendous amount of inertia in the supply chain. So if we say to a supplier, we want you to double cell output, well, even doing that in a year is very difficult. And then that system has a tremendous amount of momentum. It is like a flotilla of super tankers. It's insane.
Speaking of which, from a raw materials perspective, we also have long-term contracts to secure our supply chain to also enable this growth. So we're not just looking at the suppliers, but upstream from there.
Yeah.
Exactly. Which is more flotillas.
Yeah, exactly. As mentioned, things will move as fast as the slowest part of the entire supply chain, which goes all the way back to raw materials, lithium and nickel and that kind of thing. There's sometimes misperception that Tesla uses a lot of cobalt, but we actually don't. Apple uses, I think, almost 100% cobalt in their batteries and cell phones and laptops, but Tesla uses no cobalt in the iron phosphate packs and almost none in the nickel-based chemistries. So on a weighted average basis, we might use 2% cobalt compared to, say, Apple's 100% cobalt. Anyway, so it's really just not a factor. We expect to basically have zero cobalt in the future. So, I do. It's maybe worth noting. I think probably there is a long-term shift more in the direction of iron-based lithium-ion cells rather over nickel. As the energy density of sort of iron, or what's called typically iron phosphate, but you might as well just call it iron. The phosphate is taken for granted. But iron-based cells, lithium-ion cells, and nickel-based lithium-ion cells, I think probably we'll see a shift. My guess is probably to 2/3 iron, 1/3 nickel, or something on that order. And this is actually good because there's plenty of iron in the world. There's an insane amount of iron. But there's much less nickel, and there's way less cobalt. So it is good for relieving the long-term scaling to move to iron-based cells mostly. And I think long-term, possibly there's a good chance that all stationary storage that is Powerwall and Megapack, move to iron. This is most likely the case since you do not need to transport it and there's less of volume and mass constraint for stationary storage. So then nickel would be for really for long-range road transports, ships and aircraft and that kind of thing.
Thank you. Let's go to the second question from retail, which is, Elon has said that Tesla will be opening up the supercharger network to other EVs later this year. Can you share some more details on how this will be structured? Will this be a select brands, or will they contribute to the growth of this network?
Yeah, we're currently thinking it's a real simple thing where you just download the Tesla app and you go to a supercharger and you just indicate which stall you're in. So you plug in your car, even if it's not a Tesla, and then you just access the app and say, turn on the stall that I'm in for how much electricity. And this should basically work with, I think, almost any manufacturer's cars. There will be a time constraint. So if the charge rate is super slow, then somebody will be charged more because the biggest constraint at the superchargers is time. How occupied is the stall. And we'll also be smarter with how we charge for electricity at the superchargers. So, rush hour charging will be more expensive than off-hours charging because there are times when the superchargers are empty and times when they're jam-packed. And so it makes sense to have some time-based discrimination on it.
We've been doing that, and it's been working, and people respond, and it helps with utilization.
Yeah, exactly. So, I think we're in Europe and China because there are times when the superchargers are empty and times when they're jam-packed, and so it makes sense to have some time-based discrimination on it.
We've been doing that, and it's been working, and people respond, and it helps with utilization.
Exactly. So, I think we're in Europe and China and most parts of the world. It's the same connector for everyone. So this is a fairly easy thing to do. Developed our own connector, which, in my opinion, is actually the best connector. It's small and light, and looks good. It's no standard. So we developed our own connector, which, in my opinion, is actually the best connector. It's small and light, and looks good. So an adapter is needed to work for EVs in North America, but people can buy this adapter, and we anticipate having it available at the superchargers as well, if people don't sort of steal them or something.
We have a good solution for that.
Okay. That is just that's a constraint on the North American thing. That's basically a vestige of history. But I think we do want to emphasize that it is our goal is to support the advent of sustainable energy. It is not to create a walled garden and use that to bludgeon our competitors, which is sometimes used by some companies.
I think it's also important to comment that increasing the utilization of the network actually reduces our costs, which allows us to lower charging prices for all customers, makes the network more profitable, allows us to grow the network faster. So that's a good thing there. And no matter what, we're going to continue to aggressively expand the network capacity, increasing charging speeds, improving the trip planning tools to protect against site congestion using dynamic pricing, as Elon mentioned. And just continue to focus on minimum wait time for all customers.
Obviously, in order for this for the supercharger to be useful to other car companies, cars, we need to grow the network faster than we're growing vehicle output, which is not easy. We're growing vehicle output at a hell of a rate. So superchargers need to grow faster than vehicle output. So this is a lot of work for the supercharger team. But it is only useful in the grand scheme of things. It's only useful to the public if we're able to grow faster than Tesla vehicle output. So that is our goal.
Thank you very much. And the third question is, Elon said 4680 cells aren't reliable enough for vehicles. Is this referring to cycle life, degradation, or something else? Please update us on progress of 4680s and what is still needs to be done to make them reliable enough for vehicles.
Yeah, I mean, really, this is not. We'll definitely make the 4680 reliable enough for vehicles, and I think are at the point where in limited volume it is reliable enough for vehicles.
Yes.
Again, going back to limited production is easy, or prototype production is easy, but high volume production is hard. There are a number of challenges in transitioning from sort of small scale production to a large volume production. Not to get too much into the weeds of things, but right now we have a challenge with basically what's called calendaring, or basically squashing the cathode material to a particular height. So it just goes through these rollers and gets squashed like pizza dough, basically, but very hard pizza dough. It's denting the calendar rolls. This is not something that happened when the calendar rolls were smaller, but it is happening when the calendar rolls are bigger. So just we're like, okay, weren't expecting that.
Yeah. It's not a science problem. It's an engineering problem. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when. And the team is 100% focused on resolving these limiting processes as quickly as possible.
Exactly.
And on the reliability side, as Elon mentioned, we have successfully validated performance and the lifetime durability of the 4680 cells produced at Cato. And we're continuing ongoing verification of that reliability. We're actually accruing over 1 million equivalent miles on our cells that we produce every month in our testing activities. The focus on that is very clear. We want high quality cells for all of our customers. We're just focused on the unlucky limiting steps in the facility, and with the engineers focused on those few steps remaining, we're going to break through as fast as possible.
Meantime, we have a massive amount of equipment on order and arriving for the high volume cell production in Austin and Berlin, and but obviously, given what we've learned with the pilot plant, which is in Fremont, which is really quite a big plant by most standards, we will have to modify a bunch of that equipment. So, it won't be able to start immediately. But it seems like, Drew, correct me if I'm wrong, but we think most likely we will hit an annualized rate of 100 gigawatt hours a year sometime next year.
We'll have all the equipment installed
to
accomplish 100 gigawatt hours, and it's possible that by the end of the year we will be at an annualized rate of 100 gigawatt hours by the end of the year.
My guess is more likely than not, about 50% of reaching 100 gigawatt hours a year by the end of next year on an annualized rate, something like that.
Yep.
But it could shift by a little bit. So but it's nothing, as Drew mentioned, it's nothing fundamental.
No.
Just a lot of work.
Yeah, and even to the large roller question, Elon, right? On the anode side, the large rollers work great, no concerns. And so we're just learning as we go. And the nice thing about having that facility, on the fast track like we had it, and we talked about it at Battery Day, was really de-risking the big factories here. That's what we've done, and we've learned a lot. And with each successive iteration, the ramp up and the equipment installation will be faster and more smooth.
All right, thank you very much. And the last question from retail is from Emmett. Can Elon do an interview with one of our YouTube channels once or twice a year? I would nominate David Lee on Investing or Rod Maurer's Tesla Daily channels as first possible candidates.
Yeah, I guess I'll do an interview. I mean, just bear in mind, like if I'm doing interviews, then I can't do actual other work, you know. So it's not, you know, only so much time in the day. So, but yeah, I'll do it once. No, I won't do it annually, but I'll do it once. I think also like this is the I wouldn't say the last time I'll do earnings calls, but this is I will no longer be default doing earnings calls. So obviously I'll do the annual shareholder meeting, but I think going forward I will most likely not be on earnings calls unless there's something really important that I need to say.
Okay, thank you. Let's go to institutional questions. The first one, and we covered a lot of this already. Can you please update us on timelines for the start of production of Berlin and Austin, Model Y, Cybertruck, and the Semi? Do you expect the ramp of Cybertruck to be as difficult as it is a new process?
I think Cybertruck ramp will be difficult because it's such a new architecture. I mean, it's going to be a great product. It might, I think, be our best product ever, but there's a lot of fundamentally new design ideas in Cybertruck. Nobody's ever really made a car like this before, a vehicle like this before, so there'll probably be challenges because there's so much unexplored territory. Yeah.
Thank you. I think question 2 and question 3 we can skip, given we have already addressed it. I'll go to question 4. In 5 years' time, how much faster, better could you be at manufacturing capacity expansion using cut and paste? And what are the biggest issues you need to solve to get to that rate?
Well, like I said, I think we might be the fastest growing company in history for any large manufactured item. So those who have not actually been involved in a manufacturing ramp have just no idea how painful and difficult it is. It's like, you know, you got to eat a lot of glass, and for our manufacturing ramp, it's hard.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, if you look at the expansion we've done in Shanghai, you know, that factory was built in less than a year and ramped in, you know, 5 to 6 months to full volume. When you consider
longer than that. Took longer than that, about a year.
And when you consider cut and paste, we've repeated that, you know, in Fremont and whatever. But now with Berlin and Austin, we have new factories and new designs, and so there's always challenges, as you said, Elon, with new designs and ramping that. But I think having teams in 3 locations or 3 continents will definitely expand our ability and our capacity to, you know, grow more lines rather than just having the one factory in Fremont that we had, you know, a year and a half ago.
Yeah. So I mean, for Shanghai, it was incredible team, both the factory in 11 months, but it took longer than building the factory. It took longer than that to actually reach volume production, high volume production. So it took about a year. When you put a factory in a new geography, in order for that factory to be efficient, you have to localize the supply chain. So there's no such thing as cut and paste. It does not exist. And that, you know, obviously it'd be insane to do vehicle production in Europe but send vast numbers of parts from North America. That would be that would make the, you know, producing in Europe, for example, just crazy. You've got to localize the supply chain to have efficiency, and then you're moving as fast as your least lucky, least good supplier. Yeah, it's only the supply chains where you go like, you know, 3 or 4 layers deep. It's frankly, I feel at times that we are inheriting all force majeure of Earth. So if anything goes wrong anywhere on Earth, something happens to mess up the supply chain. So, yeah.
I think the human capital growth, though, of having factory here, Berlin, Shanghai, Fremont, does allow us to maybe not exponentially grow, but well, hopefully
we are exponentially growing.
Yeah, hopefully maintain that exponential growth.
Yeah. So, yeah, it takes a while to hire all the people and train all the people to operate the factory. A factory is like a giant cybernetic collective, and you can't just hire 10,000 people and have it work instantly. It's not possible. I really encourage more people to get involved in manufacturing. I think, especially in the U.S., like this has just not been an area where all that many smart people have gone into. I think the U.S. has an over-allocation of talent in finance and law. It's both a criticism and a compliment. I'm not saying we shouldn't have people in finance and law. I'm just saying maybe we have too many smart people in those arenas. Maybe.
Manufacturing's fun.
Yeah, manufacturing is great. It's a very interesting problem to solve, and obviously you can't have stuff unless someone makes it. That's how you get stuff. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. And let's go to the last investor question. Does Tesla plan to offer more services beyond FSD or high-speed connectivity as part of its subscription bundle going forward? What areas in particular present an opportunity?
Yeah, we don't have a lot of ideas on this, to be frank. Really, full self-driving is the main thing. Things are obviously headed towards, fully autonomous electric vehicle future. And I think Tesla is well positioned and frankly is the leader objectively in both of those arenas, electrification and autonomy. It's always tempting to try to find analogies, but with other companies or whatever. But really, the value of a fully electric autonomous fleet is insanely gigantic. Boggles the mind, really. So that will be one of the most valuable things that is ever done in the history of civilization.
Thank you very much. And now let's go back to analyst Q&A, please.
Thank you. As a reminder, to ask a question, you will need to press star 1 on your telephone. To withdraw your question, press the pound key. In the interest of time, we ask that you please limit yourself to one question and one follow-up. Our first question comes from Colin Rusch with Oppenheimer. Your line is open.
Thanks so much, guys. Can you speak to the attach rates for FSD so far and where you're targeting in terms of the subscription levels?
Yeah, it's not worth commenting on right now. It's not meaningful. We really need full self-driving, at least the beta to be widely available, so anyone who wants it can get it. Otherwise, it would be pointless to read anything into where things are right now. Yeah.
Okay, and then just the follow-up there is about the cadence of the regulatory environment, keeping up with the technology. Are you seeing meaningful evolution in terms of the regulators really understanding the technology and beginning to set some standards here sometime in the near term?
At least in the U.S., we don't see regulation as a fundamental limiter. We've obviously got to make it work and then demonstrate that the reliability is significantly in excess of the average human driver for it to be allowed, for people to be able to use it without paying attention to the road. But I think we have a massive fleet, so it will be, I think, straightforward to make the argument on statistical grounds, just based on the number of interventions, or especially interventions that would result in a crash at scale. We think we'll have billions of miles of travel to be able to show that it is, the safety of the car with the autopilot on is, 100% or 200% or more safer than the average human driver. At that point, I think it would be unconscionable not to allow the autopilot, because the car just becomes way less safe. It would be sort of like, if you take the elevator analogy, back in the day, you used to have elevator operators with like a big sort of switch and that operate the elevator and move between floors. But that get tired or maybe drunk or something, or distracted, and every now and again somebody would be kind of sheared in half between floors. That's kind of the situation we have with cars. Autonomy will become so safe that it will be unsafe to manually operate the car, relatively speaking. Today, obviously we just get in an elevator, we press the button for which floor we want, and it just takes us there safely. And it would be quite alarming if elevators were operated by a person with a giant switch. That's how it would be with cars.
Thank you. Let's go to the next question, please.
Next question comes from Rod Lache with Wolfe Research. Your line is open.
Hi, everybody. Your cost of goods sold per vehicle is already down to the mid $37,000 range in the quarter. It's down $5,000 year over year, despite some of the inefficiencies that you talked about. And I know that a lot is going to change from here, just given how mix is going to evolve. But if you're successful on the structural pack and front and rear castings and the launch of the 4680 cell, can you just maybe give us a sense of what a successful outcome would look like maybe a year from now? Obviously, a lot has to go right, but just any kind of broad framework for us to think about.
Yeah, it's really difficult for us to make specific predictions. It's very difficult. I think we feel confident of say at least at 50% growth year over year next year, and maybe it's 100%, but that's you need a lot of crystal balls to figure out exactly what it's going to be, and it is literally impossible to make a specific prediction. But at least 50, maybe 100, something like that.
Okay. And maybe just separately from this, can you just clarify what the status is of some of the advances in battery manufacturing, things like dry cathode mixing that you talked about on Battery Day? What's the timeline? How are those evolving?
Yeah, we commented on it today already, actually. But in the facility at Cato, over 90% of the processes have demonstrated rate there, but we are limited by the unlucky few that have not, and that's what we're working on. One of them that Elon mentioned was running the full-scale cathode calendar. We're working through some improvements that we need to make to that equipment and to the actual raw material itself to not have those limitations. But again, it's an engineering problem. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when. On the mixing side, we haven't actually really had any challenges specific to your question. And fundamentally, we're still happy with the dry process direction in terms of the factory footprint, complexity, utility consumption, space, and overall complexity simplification.
Yeah.
And the cost associated with everything that I just mentioned.
Yeah. And we don't have overemphasize dry cathode. I mean, it is a, I don't know, maybe it's like 10 or 15% of the cost improvement or something like that. I don't know, 20% maybe over wet.
Yeah, 10, closer to 10.
Yeah. So it's like just like people don't think like this is like the Messiah or something. Wet versus dry reduces. Dry is like 10% less cost than wet. So it's not not 10%. Still nothing to sneeze at, especially if you're making hundreds of gigawatt hours a year. But it's not the Messiah, basically.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. We can go to the next question, please.
Next question comes from Pierre Ferragu with New Street Research. Your line is open.
Hey, thanks. Thanks very much for taking my question. I have another question actually on batteries, but on a slightly different angle. I was wondering how you're looking at your sourcing strategy for the 4680. You've talked a lot about all the work you're doing to develop your in-house production. But what about asking other battery manufacturers to do 4680 cells with their own technology, maybe less innovation than what you guys are lining up internally? And I was wondering if the first 4680 cells that we'll see on the road will definitely come from Tesla's own manufacturing lines, or whether they could be coming actually from outside suppliers as well. Now, have a quick follow-up.
We are in fact working with our existing suppliers to produce 4680 format cells, this is just a guess right now, but I see us sort of like consolidating around a 4680 nickel-based structural pack and for long-range vehicles, and then not necessarily a 4680 format, but some other format for iron-based cells. And so we right now we kind of have the Baskin-Robbins of batteries situation, where we have so many formats and so many chemistries that it's like we've got like 36 flavors of battery at this point. This results in an engineering drag coefficient, where each variant of cell chemistry and format requires a certain amount of engineering to maintain it and troubleshoot, and this inhibits our forward progress. So it is going to be important to consolidate to just maybe ideally 2 form factors, maybe 3, but ideally 2, and then just one nickel chemistry and one iron chemistry, and so we don't have to troubleshoot so many different variants.
Yeah, and towards that end, we are engaging with the suppliers that we've had good partnerships with on 4680 designs to enable that simplification, and so far so good. They're working on they're bringing their core competencies to bear on that. We're not mandating like what's going on inside, but it's been a good collaboration.
Yeah. And we do expect to see significant increases in supply from our existing suppliers, in addition to the cells that Tesla is making. So it's both. Sometimes I get questions from our cell suppliers of like, are we just gonna make all the cells ourselves? And we're like, no, please make as many as you possibly can and supply them to us. We have a significant unmet demand in stationary storage. Megapack is basically sold out through the end of next year, I believe.
Yeah.
We have a massive backlog in Powerwall demand. The demand of Powerwall versus production is an insane mismatch. Now, part of that problem is also the semiconductor issue. So we use a lot of the same chips in the Powerwall as we do in the car. So it's like, which one do you want to make, cars or Powerwalls? So we need to make cars, so therefore Powerwall production has been reduced. But as that semiconductor shortage is alleviated, then we can massively ramp up Powerwall production. I think we have a chance of hitting an annualized rate of, a million units of Powerwall next year, maybe, sort of on the order of 20,000 a week. But again, dependent on cell supply and semiconductors. But in terms of demand, I think there's probably demand for in excess of 1 million Powerwalls per year, and actually just a vast amount of megapacks for utilities. As the world transitions to a sustainable energy production, solar and wind are intermittent, and by their nature really need battery packs in order to provide a steady flow of electricity. And when you look at all the utilities in the world, this is a vast amount of batteries that are needed. That's why, long term, we really think, to sort of combine Tesla and suppliers need to produce at least 1,000 gigawatt hours a year, and maybe 2,000 gigawatt hours a year.
Okay, great, thank you. And I have a quick question. I know, Elon, you don't think it's meaningful today, but I'd be curious to know, if you have any stats about when you announced a new pricing on a FSD moving from 10 grand up front to 199 without the lock-in. I'd be curious to understand, how it affected behavior, and if you saw like a massive uptake in the service. And I'm not thinking about people looking at it as an FSD, but more, to try the most advanced version of autopilot and to try it. So in the first days you've announced the pricing, have you seen like a very significant spike in the take rate, and can you give us a sense of how big it was?
Okay, so you're asking, like, is the FSD take rate too expensive, and that's why we're doing subscription? Or I'm not sure if I understand your question correctly.
No, my question is from the time you announced like the subscription at the $199 per month, how much did like the take rate increase? Like the percentage of people who basically took the subscription as they bought a new car versus how it was when they had to pay 10 grand up front?
Yeah, this is Zach here. I think we're still early in understanding how FSD subscription will unfold, but a couple of data points here. So we took a look at our backlog to see, of customers in our backlog who have ordered FSD, did they cancel, presumably to go to subscription after they take delivery? And the level of cancellations there was not seeing cannibalization there. It's possible that changes, but that was also part of our pricing strategy at $99 and $199.
Yeah,
also part of our pricing strategy at $99 and $199.
Yeah, it's like any given price is going to be wrong, so we'll just adjust it over time as we see, the value proposition makes sense to people. So we're just really, I'm not thinking about this a lot right now. We need to make full self-driving work in order for it to be a compelling value proposition. Otherwise, people are, kind of betting on the future. Right now, does it make sense for somebody to do an FSD subscription? I think it's debatable. But once we have full self-driving widely deployed, then the value proposition will be clear. And at that point, I think basically everyone will use it. Or it could be a rare individual who doesn't.
Okay, thank you very much for your help, and I think that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for all your questions, and we'll speak to you again in 3 months' time. Have a good day, everyone.
All right, thank you.
This concludes today's conference call. Thank you for participating. You may now disconnect.
Wow, that was exciting. I'm going to get out of here. Appreciate you hanging out, Elvis. I don't know who else is here. Jonah, maybe. Anyone else. I appreciate you. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace out.